Hi there, this is Ranjit and I have this Redmi 2 Prime with me, and in this video we'll be doing the camera review. The rear facing camera on this Redmi 2 Prime is a 8 megapixel shooter with LED flash, whereas the front facing camera is a 2 megapixel shooter. And I've taken a lot of sample shots, I'll show you all of them later on. But before that, let me quickly give you an idea about the camera interface. Again, it's very familiar to existing camera interface that we have seen from Xiaomi, and not a big change, but let me still show you. We are in the video mode right now, and let me just go back to the photo mode. This is the photo mode. We can switch between the video and the like this, and now if you hit record the video, this is the basic mode that you get. This is the photo mode, and by default it will try to automatically focus. As you can see, you get the green, but you can also tap in like this and you get this ring, and you can adjust the exposure. By default, it you have to adjust the exposure, because it generally I've noticed that it does overexpose at times. And regarding the focusing speed, it is fast relatively. You just tap in and it focuses. And another good thing that I found with this one is that even if you move close to a subject, you can focus. I've taken some macro shots. I'll show you them a bit later. Regarding the settings, if you just go here, you can invoke the manual settings. And again, we have the standard stuff. Let me show you. If you go to the settings, you can adjust, you can save the photographs to the SD card. And there are not a lot of settings. By default, it will be in the 4:3 ratio, and you can set it to 16:9. And by default, the picture quality would be at standard. I have moved that to high. And we can also toggle on off the face detection. And so basic settings, I would say not a lot of settings. You can go to the manual mode, as I mentioned. If you go here, here you can adjust the white balance if you would want. Like as you can see here, you have predefined mode, so daylight, etc. You can set that, and you can also select the ISO using this slider, and it goes up to 800 ISO. So just basic stuff, I would say. Let me actually show you the sample shots that I've taken with this device so that you can judge the camera performance. These pictures were shot with the rear facing camera of the Redmi 2 Prime, and as you can see, in outdoor conditions the pictures come out to be really good, and also in terms of color accuracy it is fine. Another thing that I liked about this one is that even when you try to take some macro shots, they come out to be good. You have to have stable hands, but definitely you can take some decent pictures. Also, in terms of sharpness and color accuracy in outdoor conditions, I would say the pictures were sharp, and even in terms of color reproduction, it was close to natural. You can also get that sort of bokeh effect with the rear facing camera. Recording this footage with the Redmi 2 Prime at the highest setting possible, that is 1080p. By default, the video setting would be at 720p, but you can go to the settings for the rear facing camera and set it as full HD. The audio that you're hearing is also being recorded by the internal microphone. And this is my roof garden, and there is a little bit of wind, so there might be quite a bit of wind noise. As you can see, wind is blowing. And let me see if we have tap to focus. Yes, we do have tap to focus. For example, I'll tap on that cactus, as you can see. So if you immediately want to focus to a particular area, you can always hit that tap to focus functionality. And let me just walk back now. So this should give you an idea how will be the video recording if you're walking. So this should give you an idea about the video recording with the Redmi 2 Prime in outdoor conditions. Now these were shot in semi-indoor conditions, and here you have to be careful, otherwise the picture can come out to be a little bit shaky, I would say. And it was sort of a hit or a miss. If you are careful, you can get some decent shots even in semi-indoor conditions. But you need to have stable hands. And as you can see, these are some decent shots in semi-indoor conditions, but here again it was a little bit shaky. Also, in terms of exposure in semi-indoor conditions, it was not doing a great job in my opinion. And here I used the flash, and certainly the flash does add a little bit of yellow tint to the pictures when you use it. Now these pictures were shot in completely artificial lighting in my office, and as you can see, it can take some decent shots, but you have to be careful, because sometimes in terms of exposure, I did notice the exposure went really haywire, and you have to be careful, otherwise the pictures will come out to be shaky. Also, in terms of exposure in artificial light, I was not that happy. The pictures were dull, and as you can see, there is a lot of shake in the pictures if you're not careful. But if you have stable hands, you can certainly take some pictures even in artificial lighting. And here a flash was disabled, and here I enabled the flash. Again, the flash is not that aggressive in indoor lighting conditions in my opinion. Frankly speaking, in indoor lighting, I did expect it to do a little bit better. The front facing camera in outdoor lighting conditions does a decent job for a 2 megapixel shooter, but again, it's not very sharp, you have to be careful. Even in semi-indoor conditions, it does a decent job, but again, I wouldn't say it's outstanding. And by default, the beautification option is enabled. So I would say just tone it down. Recording this part of the footage with the front-facing camera of this Redmi 2 Prime, and this is in completely artificial lighting in my office. And one thing that I have noticed is that the video recording with the front-facing camera is only up to 720p, not full HD. So what do I feel about the camera performance on this Redmi 2 Prime? As you have seen from the sample shots, the rear facing camera in outdoor conditions does a very good job. Even the good thing is that even close-up shots like macro shots come out to be nice, and they have fairly good detail in ample lighting. But when we move to indoor lighting and artificial lighting, I was not that impressed with this camera. Yes, you can take some decent shots, but most of the times the pictures might come out to be blurry, so you have to take multiple shots. In fact, I would say the original Redmi 1 did a lot better in the camera department in artificial lighting. Here it was not that great. Yes, we have flash, and in fact I would say many of the times the flash does not fire in artificial lighting, and hence the picture come out to be really dull and soft. But when you manually toggle the flash, the pictures come out to be a lot better. But again, I did notice that if you enable the flash, there is a slight yellow tint to the pictures. Now if we move to the front facing camera in outdoor conditions, it's okay. I would say it's not spectacular, just okay. But again, when we move to indoor lighting and an artificial lighting, again the camera performance with the front facing camera was also not good. In fact, the video that we took with the front facing camera in indoor lighting conditions was really soft. So I would say the rear facing camera performance is good in outdoor lighting. But again, when we move to indoor lighting and in artificial lighting, the camera performance is just very average. And I would say if we start to compare it, yes, it's still better than the Lenovo A6000 Plus. But again, I did expect a lot more with this Redmi 2 Prime, because the original Redmi 1, I feel, had a better camera. I'll also be posting the full in-depth review with this Redmi 2 Prime very soon, so stay tuned to my channel. Thanks for watching. This is Ranjit, and I hope to see you in my next video.